Straight out of the Absolution, Tom and Moltar made a whole generation of adult weebs, waifus, otakus, and anime bingers. To understand this cultural phenomenon, we must go over the cultural rise of anime, and how this anime influence even made American Western animation second best. In the 1960s, Japanese anime was made at reduced cost. Animator Osamu Tezuka made animation that was on tight schedules and had people that were new to the industry, but saw successes in shows like Astro Boy, Three Tails, and Instant History. Speed Racer, made by Tetsuya Yoshida, made waves in both Japan and the United States. Dubbed by Deke in the 70s, with its still images yet colorful backgrounds, facial expressions, and in-depth storytelling, anime also saw movie releases from independent studios in the 1980s, from Toho and Studio Ghibli, which ranked in millions of dollars with releases such as Akira, My Neighbor Totoro, Grave of the Fireflies, just to name a few. At this time, anime was making itself into a competitor to the animation industry. Western animation was still dominant, however, was getting stale with its audience. Anime was an interesting niche market while it was a growing popularity during the 60s and 80s.
All right, Tom, we're ready.
I love this job.
Back when Cartoon Network started in 1987, Ted Turner prided the network on being nothing but 24/7 cartoons with its main competitor Nickelodeon. Whereas Nick had Canadian shows and then moved over to Nicktoons in the 90s, Cartoon Network had Hanna-Barbera cartoons and moved into the golden ages with What a Cartoon in 1994. In 1997, Toonami, with its first host, Moltar from Space Ghost, hosted only a few American cartoons such as Johnny Quest, Voltron, Thundercats, just to name a few. Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon were not introduced until 1999. However, if you were in New Jersey, it was on this channel. Remember UPN? During the 90s, Toonami was on weekdays, which got a lot of complaints from helicopter moms who were bent on kids finishing their homework instead of watching cartoons.
Not some fictional cartoon!
With the block switching from Tuesdays and Wednesdays to Saturdays, it became the second best TV block on children's programming, second to Saturday morning cartoons.
Toonami, the midnight run. It's an all-night thing. Kids love it.
Before Adult Swim was airing anime, Toonami from 1999 to 2003 ran Midnight Run, a 5-hour block that ran on weekdays and Fridays. During July 10, 1999, Moltar was replaced and Tom 1 was introduced as the new mascot for Toonami. It was the only place where you could see Gundam Wing uncut, which at the time was unprecedented for a midnight block. Music artists like Gorillaz, Daft Punk, and Kenna had music videos playing on the block as a way to promote their music. The block was short-lived due to time constraints, as in the beginning it would see a 5-hour slot to play anime, would then be reduced to 1 hour. Could you say that Toonami being a block itself was a problem, or could you just say that there were just low attendances? Adult Swim takes over, and, well, there you have it. Midnight Run was a short thing. However, that did not stop Toonami's initial success. Over the years, Tom has evolved with the brand of Toonami with these specials on the block to take down enemies that were a threat to the Absolution, which became its own thing on how new Tom mascots were introduced. Another would be an inspirational sorts with anime clips to inspire the youth to follow their dreams, never give up, at a time where certain social issues were rising. With the block having timeless classics mixing Japanese anime with Western animation like Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, and Star Wars The Clone Wars, Toonami reached its apex within the mid-2000s when Naruto and One Piece came onto the scene. Back then, you can only see Naruto on Toonami without having to see it on YouTube, which also saw a rise in anime demand. After 2009, Toonami saw a decline in viewership as there was the Funimation channel, as well as the internet rising in high demand to see Japanese subbed anime. Viewers wanted to see anime early and be well ahead of the curve, as English dubbed anime took a while to syndicate, leading to Toonami having its final broadcast on January 30th of 2009.
Bang.
Up until 2012, where Toonami made a comeback on Adult Swim with their April Fool's Day airing of The Room.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Oh, hi, Adult Swim. I got the results of the test back. I definitely have April Fools.
Think you can stay up for the whole 6 hours? Cool. And go.
Tom is now on his 6th era on the Adult Swim block, while shows like Lupin the Third, Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, and My Hero Academia bring anime fans to the block. While there is more of a demand for people to go to streaming services like Crunchyroll and HBO Max, Toonami serves as a rerun, new episode, sneak peek block on Adult Swim. And most anime is on Toonami one day and on a streaming service the next. And while most think of the Toonami block as obsolete, Toonami finds a way to adapt to the ever-changing world of television programming. Anime has captured and inspired many generations of people to identify with the characters, establish conventions, make fandoms, and even inspire Western animators to get into the genre. While Western animation has seen a huge competition, even transfer of audience, the demand still grows even higher for anime in general. In 2021, anime on Netflix is in high demand and makes up 30.5% in entertainment market share. Understanding the Japanese language as well as a high interest in Japanese culture became a highlight in the rise of anime. A lot of indie artists take inspiration from the anime culture and have made it so that they can share and express their identity within the genre. Toonami's cultural impact cannot be understated in the West. A spaceship-riding robot changed a generation's media taste to the action-packed shonen that we see popularized today. I know personally Toonami introduced me to my love of anime, and also others share in this experience. But even with the massive impact on people and the TV block struggling in 2009 with its cancellation, and even with it being back on air, I think it's important to ask if this legacy media will be around for other generations. With streaming companies like Netflix and Crunchyroll, can the absolution weather the changing media landscape? Honestly, this situation doesn't look good with all the piracy, but it depends on you, the viewer. So choose wisely.
You are watching Toonami.